So the coop is finally done, and I'm going to give you guys a quick tour. Alright, so when you first come in the door, you have this small area in the front that we call the human area, since it is for us and not the chickens. And we have another door that divides the space. So in here we have the nesting boxes, easy access to the nesting boxes here, and there's 3 boxes. That we have 8 chickens currently, so 3 nesting boxes we figured would be good. And in this space is where we are going to keep all of the feed and stuff for them, which right now I don't have. I'm kind of transitioning from their starter feed to their adult feed here shortly, so I did order a bunch of grains. I'll have a separate video about that because I am mixing my own feed, and I'll give you a breakdown kind of about that. So we decided to, instead of having a solid wall here, we decided to go with just wood along the bottom because we're doing a deep litter method in here. So we did wood around the bottom, couple feet or so, and then we did the top part of the wall with just some chicken wire. And we did that all the way to the top. And we wanted this area to be pretty secure too, just in case something was to get in somehow. I don't know if the kids left the door open or something, that if something got in here, it would be somewhat predator resistant, at least. And anyways, so down here under the nesting boxes is where I'm going to be storing the feed down here. I should be getting one of my new containers for storing in tomorrow, so that'll all be in my chicken feed video that'll be coming out hopefully soon. So here's what the nesting boxes look like. We open this up. We used all solid woods, not, we decided against the plywood and stuff for these. So these are really sturdy, really nice boxes. And they've actually been sleeping in here because they're so tiny little girls. They are so friendly. The kids did a great job raising them. This is Daisy. There's who are you? Sweetie in the back. She's the barred rock. And right here, this is Harley. That's the leghorn. Daisy is the Australorp. Anyway, so there's the nesting boxes. And on our doors we have carabiners just to keep everything secured. Alright, so one of the first things I wanted to show you guys was the little chicken access door that we have. So it's straight ahead right there. And if you see on the top right there, there is a black door hinge. And that is to keep any predators from being able to open the access door from the outside. And we have a 550 cord, just a black cord as you can see coming across here. And it is on the outside, so that from the human side we can just easily pull this to open the door, and when it's closed we just hook it on the screw to keep it in place, and then when it's open we loop it around this screw here to hold the door open. So at night, when we close that, I'll go show you up close how the mechanism is working. Alright, so this hinge, when we drop this door closed, it slams down, causing the hinge to close. So if anything from the outside we're trying to lift up, it would be blocked. It would be blocked by this wood up here. So that's as far as anything could open from the outside. But when we are on the human side and we pull the rope, it pulls the hinge straight, allowing it to move freely. So now the door can be open, and then when we close it, that hinge pops down and then again can't be opened. So that was really important to me. I wanted to have security and just know no crazy little predators could get through this door. Alright, so in our coop, this is our first time using this type of watering system, and man, I'm so in love with it. I'm so glad that we switched. The water stays so much cleaner. It's amazing, and I've been putting apple cider vinegar in the water as well, and because they're so small, I don't fill it up all the way. They don't go through that much water. But this is the kind with the little nipples on the bottom, and because of the design of the bucket, when you set it down on the ground, it doesn't push those little nipples in. So anyways, I really like that water. Super glad we went with that. I don't remember how much we paid for it. Maybe 20 or 30 bucks for that at the Tractor Supply. So right now we purchased this trough style feeder for them. Right now, because of their age, they are being free fed all the time. They always have food, as much as they can eat. As they grow, that will not be the case. We will be feeding them, I haven't decided, once or twice a day. We'll see how much food that they need. But once we get them going outside in their run, which we have yet to set up, once we get the run finished and they're going outside, they're going to be out foraging and stuff, so they will not need to be sitting in here eating grain. Our last chickens, we did always have a supply of grain, and we felt like it would be a beautiful day and they should be out foraging, but they were all just sitting around the feed bucket, so that is going to be changed, and they will not be getting these pellets anymore as they get older as well. So all about that in my other video that will be coming out about the feed. There's our Americana named Rosie. And this also has little mounting hooks on the back, and it will be mounted up on the wall eventually, like that, so that it's off the ground, not getting so much bedding in it. Right now they are getting some bedding in it, but not too bad. And then right here are the other side of the nesting boxes. And they don't have a problem jumping up there or anything. And then, as you can see, there's outside. So then on this wall, we have a window, and on the back wall, we have another window. So we get lots of natural light in here. They get lots of morning sun. This wall is facing east, and This is obviously our south facing. We do have a lot of trees, so it's really hard to say exactly how much sunlight comes in, but it is nice and bright. We love it. And this is the north facing wall is where the door is. They are really loving these shoes. They, I think, are obsessed with my shoes and pants. What are you doing, sillies? Harley, what you doing? Alright, so now all about one of my favorite features in the coop was the perch that my husband designed. I love it. I don't know if he came up with this all on his own or if he saw it somewhere, but I love it. So basically the perch takes up a good portion of the coop. So the whole coop is 8 by 10. So we probably have, what, 2 or 3 foot in the front there. So maybe 7, 8 foot by whatever. Anyways, so the majority is taken up. Of course, they can walk under it, which they do. And but anyways, we're doing the deep litter method, so we've got a good foot or more deep of this bedding. And by the way, we got the large chips, not the small ones. The small ones are way too dusty. They're really gross. So these ones are much bigger and they're dust free, which is so much nicer. And I think that they like it better, and it's probably so much better for their health. But anyways, back to the perch. So we wanted something that was obviously fun for them and that they would like to perch on. But also we didn't want it to be in the way when we have to clean the coop out once or twice a year. So my husband put them on hinges. So these are just regular, like a heavy-duty door hinge, and they're screwed into a 2x4 that goes across. 3 there, because it is so big. And then on the front of the legs here, he also put 3 here, so that the legs can fold up. You want to demonstrate, Hannah? Sure. Look out, sweetie. So when it's time to clean, you just pick it up and the legs fold up. It goes flat to the wall, and then we have a little rope there with 550 cord and a screw, and it holds it in place. So now we have a completely open floor to clean or do whatever we're doing at the time, and that's completely out of the way. And then when we're done, we just fold it back out. It's as simple as that. The kids can do it on their own. So I thought that was pretty amazing. That and the door, the chicken door, are pretty awesome. I think my husband went above and beyond on this coop. And because we are doing the deep litter method, we decided to all the way around the inside. We have wood, actually, on this side. This side we is like this, and then we had, for the other 3 walls, we had leftover siding from the outside, so we just used what we had left of siding, so that was not an additional expense that we had to pay for that. So, and then we were worried, well, we didn't want to have the baby chicks, because they were quite small when they first came out here. We didn't want any to, they perch up here on the sidewall. So we didn't want any to accidentally fall in and get stuck, so we filled those with bedding as well, thinking that will keep them safe from getting stuck in there, and it'll add some insulation to the bottom portion of the wall where they are spending most of their time. Man, they are obsessed with these shoes.
They like mine too.
Alright, so on the outside, we don't have their run up yet, but what we're thinking is the fence line will go from this front corner here, straight across in front of this oak tree and to the fence that we have for the dogs. So right up to that, we're going to use probably just do T-posts and just like what you see there. We were going to make it more secure and covered and everything, but we thought, you know, we'll risk it. So basically, they're going to be free ranging a lot in the yard anyways. And this run area is going to be more when we are not able to watch them, or when we're introducing, making sure that our Labrador is okay around them so that he doesn't, you know, get excited and want to chase them or bother them. So also, if we're going to be going somewhere and we're not going to be home, we'll keep them in there. And depending on how we end up getting our garden set up, which we're still trying to work out, we don't obviously want the chickens in the garden area. So the run will be more when we're not able to supervise them, versus free-ranging the entire property when we are around. So anyways, that will be the fence line on this side. And as you can see, obviously they get a good amount of sun and shade here. And I'm not sure exactly how far back we're gonna go. I was thinking to the tree line back there, but I think that's too far for what my husband wants. Possibly right in front of these plants here, these flowers. So possibly right about there and go across. And it will go all the way to right about where this ridge is, where we got these rocks piled up. So it'll come down right here. There was a fence when we first moved in. There was a little like a garden type fence here, and this was all like wild raspberries of some kind here. This year we decided to tone those down. They were taking up half the yard and not pleasant when you get stabbed by them. So we took the best and biggest, nicest ones and relocated them back into the woods, kind of to the edge of our property. And then up here so we can have a nice clear space. Eventually this will probably have another shed on it, or possibly where we put piglets next year. So we're still, I'll wait to see what my husband thinks about exactly where the fence line will be right there, but it will come right here and line up with the back corner of the coop here. So this here is the south facing wall, and this is the chicken door, the outside of the little chicken door. So as you can see, I still need to paint that red. It was done after the fact, so that cut out. I am going to paint the outside of that door red, and we are going to trim it out and paint the trim white so it looks finished and not quite so ragged and unattractive looking. And we will also have a little ramp built right here to finish it off. We have plenty of wood left over to make that, so it's not an additional expense. Back here I also only have one coat of white on the trim, so I may go ahead and do another coat. I'm not sure. It looks pretty good right now. So that over there is the back of our garage. So it's pretty close to the house, which is nice. Alright, and when we moved in, our property has so many flowers. The woman who lived here before us had tons and tons of flowers. I mean, the woods over there are so full of flowers and trails. It's really, really pretty. Although we haven't done any maintenance over there. But everywhere on the property is tons of flowers. So I just went ahead and transplanted these. There was a couple of them were already here, but I just filled it out a little bit thicker with some tiny ones that will grow up and be big and full and pretty eventually. Right now, not looking very amazing by any means right now, but it is early too, so they will get prettier as time goes by. And my husband built a cute little, I almost said nesting box, flower box under this window. You can see this side of the coop from the house, and I thought, man, that would be really cute to look out and see some flowers under the window, maybe some hanging over the edge. And also when we're just out in the yard relaxing by the fire pit and stuff, it would just be really pleasing to the eye. And he said, yep, making a flower box. So he went ahead and did that right away, and I really love how it turned out. I will probably, most likely, be putting fake flowers up here because it is very cold here, and I don't want to worry about trying to, you know, if the plants are going to be insulated enough, if their roots are going to be warm enough for the winter, if everything, and I just, you know, whatever. I have lots of plants to worry about down here and around my entire house and the landscaping, and so I don't want to have to worry about it. I want them to look pretty all the time, and I could really change them out per season if I want to put some evergreens in it for the winter or whatever. So don't judge me. They're probably going to be fake flowers. So we got a couple decorations for the coop. These we got were 20% off at Tractor Supply. So we got this rusty looking star hanging on the side so we can see it from the house. And along the front we have a matching rusty colored light. It looks like a floodlight, and it is a solar light. So at night it really lights up the front of the coop, really cute, and I thought it would be really nice in the winter time if we have to come out in the evening, you know, 5 or 6 o'clock and it's already dark. It'd be great to have just enough light so that you can find your way to the door and open the door. And I am going to be getting a cool solar light for the interior of the coop too. I can't wait. I chickened out ordering it, no pun intended, but I am going to order it. It's about 10-11 bucks on Amazon. I'll show you it when I get it and let you know if I like it. But anyways, the sign I made, this is, most likely you will see me making this sign in the video. I did record a little bit of how we made the sign. So this is the finished result from that. They are made on solid wood. Just a 1x10, I believe, the main title sign. And then each of the names are on 1x4s, painted white. Obviously, I ended up going with these hooks. I got them at Walmart in the hardware section back by the paint and stuff. So the top one is just a loop, and then the bottom one just hooks on there. So if we change chickens and I need to remove a sign or change a name on a sign, I can easily just come out, grab it off there, and change the name or add or subtract or whatever it is, and have a current sign there. Alright, so I think that's about it with the coop. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions about it, please feel free to ask in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.